night, then on a mostly clear sky, you still get illumination of the clouds if it's not strong enough.
No, it's strong enough. Yeah, because the sun is. I'm sorry.
So it is, but it isn't.
The moon is relatively close, so it's not 238,000 miles away. So relatively, it's close. You're gonna get that.
You know what? Let's go down that. But instead of directing this question initially to you, RussianVids, I'm gonna go put it to the other guy.
Go ahead.
Do you? Sorry, I am blanking on your name at the moment. Blame the NyQuil.
No, Mind of God.
Yeah, or sure.
Mind of God. Yeah. Do you accept direct measurements?
Yeah, sure.
You do? Okay. So do you understand how an EME bounce works?
No, but I hear this bounce stuff, which I find kind of funny, but keep going.
You're an electrical engineer who specialized in communications, and you don't understand how an EME bounce works.
Yeah, blame the University of Western Ontario and Rice University. I can give you their contact. But keep going. Just keep going.
The reason why I ask is because it deals with the propagation of radio waves.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And you know what speed that they propagate at, correct?
Not off the top of my head, but tell me.
Well, really?
Steve, check your.
Yeah, I'm working on
Google
that.
real quick.
I'm working on
around. Can I? It's around 300,000 kilometers per second.
Yeah. Yeah, we call that C.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the speed of light. Something you should be familiar with.
Is it bad that I'm a plumber and I know this?
You're an ugly clear from Florida and you know this. That's all that matters.
Okay, fair enough.
Now, the reason why this matters is because when you know the rate that something is traveling, you can then time it. Between time and rate, you can then calculate the distance.
Agreed. Yes. I agree.
So back to you, RussianVids. You still want to claim that the moon is closer than?
But wait. I don't think he said
miles.
Wait, just 1 second, just to clarify. I don't think he wasn't double dipping when he said the moon can locally illuminate the clouds. That part, do you have issues with that?
Listen, guys. Bottom line is this: during the daytime, you see the moon. Obviously in the sky. I've recorded the moon in the sky during the day, 11 a.m., noon, 1, 2, 3. So obviously, it's what is the other side of the so-called ball Earth getting during these times as far as the sun and the moon? When both the sun and the moon are above the horizon, you can see them both.
No sun and no moon.
At all times of the day. At all times of the day, you can see them both.
How about no sun and no moon? How's that?
Just be a dark night with no moon on the other side. I see this
constantly. I see this happen constantly. So the other side of the so-called ball Earth it's pretty dark then, obviously. Bottom line is this, guys. I don't want to say this directly. All this should be subjective and easily proven that we live in a globe. These cartoons in space.
That's why it is.
It really is.
Hold on.
Right, RussianVids, can I ask you a question? Like, you're saying the moon is local and close, so you explain to me why the angular size doesn't change.
It does change. I've showed videos, time-lapse videos of the sun moving. And
in those time-lapse videos, were you using a solar filter?
I want to point this out.
Answer the question. Were you using a solar filter?
For $84.
That's what I'm trying to get at. It's not my
video. It's a simple yes or no question. Were you using a solar filter?
I'm explaining to you simply. They're not my videos. It's a video.
Were you looking at a video that was using a solar filter?
Hang on. Everyone.
You just said it both ways, RussianVids. You said you did it. Now you're saying it was someone else's video?
You're not listening. I said I have a video. I never said it was my video. I said I have a video on my channel. I didn't say I recorded this. I said I have this video on my channel. It's a big difference.
That video, is it using a solar filter?
No, this is during the day. What do you mean solar filter? No, it's
look at the sun. You need to have a solar filter, otherwise you won't be able to tell what the angular size of it is because you just get a bunch of glare.
No,
the solar filter removes that glare and allows you to actually look at what the angular size of it is. Red will attest to this because he'd done a video on his channel with a solar filter, taking a photo of the sun every 30 minutes throughout the day, and lo and behold, the angular size didn't change.
Mm-hmm.
And if the sun was local and close, then it would change in a magnitude of 4 times if throughout the day, and that doesn't happen.
Well, let me explain this very simply. Okay, 1 or 2 during the day, you cannot look at the sun directly. Obviously, like Steve mentioned the other day, you'll go blind. But it just so happens during so-called sunset, on many occasions, you can look directly with your naked eyes at the sun, and it doesn't burn your eyes.
That's not
Well,
true.
yeah, that's because when you're looking at the sunset,
hang
the
on.
sun is at an angle compared to
Yeah,
you,
that's
so
still-
you're looking at a whole bunch more atmosphere.
That's still not a good idea, because even if the sun has a small amount, even if you looked at the sun at 1% of its total brilliance, it's enough to blind you. So you don't want to look at any part of the sun at any time, even if there's a little bit going over the horizon. Now, granted, you look for a little while. We all seen sunsets. So it's not going to be detrimental. But if you stare directly at that sunset and you let it burn your retina, you will get retina damage.
Let me in.
Or eye cancer too, because of the
quick
amount of
moment.
energy being deposited on your retina. You don't want to do that. It's bad.
All right. Mind of God, can I ask you a direct question?
Yes, sir.
Okay. If you're looking at an object that is emitting really, really, really bright light, think like HID bulbs. In order to see the actual size of the object that is emitting that much light, you would first need to cut down on the light that's hitting your eye or a camera sensor, and only in order to see the object itself that is producing it, correct? Lest there be glare?
Yeah, I have a question about the filter. Is that what you're getting at? I'll let you finish.
Yes. I'm getting it, but work with me on this on this thing. Okay,
yeah,
so
I think what you said is fine.
Okay, so if one were to make an observation of, I don't know, the sun, and they were making this observation to measure the angular size of the sun, but they didn't have that filter in place, then that observation would not be an accurate representation of the actual size of the sun. Is that fair to say?
Well, one step before that, what is the filter doing? Is that filtering just the sun or other effects like in the atmosphere? Like
it's cutting out 99.5% the light that hits it.
Oh, so anything, just whatever is
whatever light, just
okay.
Yes. So take that filter just filters out light. So just using that and that alone, the same way that I did the light bulb example, if you want to see the actual size of the light bulb that is emitting that much light, you need to first cut down on the light so it doesn't blind you, so that there's no glare, correct?
Okay, and when you say angular size, how are you measuring that? Are you literally taking a picture and putting a ruler on the picture, or how are you quantifying that? Just by looking at it?
Yes, I am just looking at it, and I can give you an example right here, right now.
No, I saw your videos with the. If you want to pull it up, you can. But...
No, then if you already saw it, then there's no point. But all I did was I took a picture of the sun with a solar filter, and I compared it to the next image that I took, and then the next image that I took, and then the next image that I took, and so on from sunrise to sunset, and all the images show the sun being the same size in the frame, i.e. angular size did not change.
Can I answer this in a way you will not like?
Sure, but can you answer the first question that I gave you in a way that I may or may not like?
I don't think I can, because I'm going to have to deflect to this. But
okay, just to be clear,
I'm ducking it.
Do you agree with me that in order for us to make an accurate observation of the size of an object that is emitting that much light, we first need to cut down on the light so it doesn't blind us or give us a bunch of glare?
But I think the next question would be, how do you know you're filtering enough? Like, how do you know that what you're seeing is consistent from observation to observation?
Because the very moment that you filter any more, the angular size does not change. Because that's exactly what I did when adjusting exposure. So the very moment that you're not seeing any change, yet you're having an exponential amount of filter, that's when you've hit your point where, okay, now what I'm seeing is actually the object itself.
Interesting.
Yeah, so would you agree that methodology is correct, and doing anything beyond that is going to give you not accurate results?
What are we trying to do? What are you trying
measure
to do?
The angular size of the sun and not its glare.
But when you say measure, you just said visually. That's what I don't understand. Why are you saying measure when you're just saying you're trying to observe the size of the sun not changing? Not
correct.
Measuring. Okay.
Well, no. Measuring it does not mean having an actual value. You can measure something. No, you can measure something without assigning a value to its angular size. The way you measure it is by comparing it to the next set of observations, which is the next picture, the next picture, the next picture. So,
I got it.
So, doing my methodology, that is how one would actually find the size of the sun, and doing it in any other way would cause you to measure glare, correct? I've asked this like 10 times already.
Okay, you know what? I want to listen.
That seems
This
reasonable.
is not going anywhere.
Seem-
I want to
hang on, RussianVids, not done yet, not done yet.
It seems reasonable.
So right now we just heard that is reasonable, which I thank you. I thank you for saying that that's reasonable.
But Red, just to clarify, in particular, that part where you said you increased the filter to where you got a fixed thing, that's the part that I think is reasonable. Just to clarify. But yeah, keep going.
Okay, so basically, if we know that that's what we need to do to find the actual angular size of the sun, and doing anything beyond that, you're just going to get a bunch of glare. Which methodology are you going to trust? Would you trust my methodology, or would you trust a unprotected camera sensor staring directly at this very bright light in the sky?
I would do this myself.
Yes, but with which methodology?
I'd have to think about it.
Why would that require much thought? To be honest with you,
Okay.
I don't see what there is to think about. I just don't.
I mean, you either want to do it right or you don't.
Yeah,
I would need to figure out how I can see the actual sun, whatever that is, its core element. Yeah, I would need to figure out how I can zero in on that, and not its.
Maybe use what's called a glare filter. I'm guessing.
Yeah, that's just stuff that I don't know of. But yeah, sure.
Well, I'll help you out. There's one for $10 on Amazon.
I work at Amazon. I do not buy anything from there. I don't know.
Real quickly,
Amazon's amazing.
Speaking of that, RussianVids, something just happened that I don't know if you can maybe help me out with this, but I just went to check my email, and you're not going to believe this. Steve, would you put up that picture that I just sent you?
Yeah,
this is true.
I'm going to share
this is
it
true.
Right now. 1 sec.
I literally just opened this up, RussianVids. Now, what does this mean? Look how many emails are in my inbox.
Hang on, I've got to actually screen share this, so this might be weird. Okay, there you go.
It's quite freaky.
All the love for Russian vids. I can see it already.
What's the G in the Gmail?
The G's are 33. 1 through 26. 8 through Z is 1 through 26. You flip the alphabet over, you get to G again. It's 33.
Now I will tell you. I will tell you. By the way, can you see this?
666.
Okay, so I will tell you that during the stream. Wait. It gets better. During the stream, we actually hit 666 for quite some time, and as soon as I recognized, my head kind of hit me, and I went to go take a screenshot out of it. It went to 667 and never went back, and I said, "God damn Illuminati, you fucked me again."
But they're back though. Look,
they play with those numbers, man. We've done tests.
They messed with me because I was going to take a screenshot of that at 666, and as soon as I put my little screen thing over, it went to 667. I was like, "Damn."
Okay.
Oh, the screen. I'm sorry. The screen. You know what? The outside can't see it. So let me. While you're talking, I'm gonna show it to the outside. So.
But wait, Red. Can I answer that with a way you won't like?
Sure. Well, in all fairness, the way you've been answering hasn't been very likable. But go ahead.
No, that's fine. But from a spiritual perspective, which may not be appropriate on the original broadcast, from a person who understands or is kind of figuring or following along in this debate from the Bible. We have to believe that there's an architect to this whole deception. So he's not going to make it obvious. No, I'm not. I mean, I'm not here to prove it. I'm just telling you from my vantage point.
It is why you're here, to be fair.
Hang on. I can respond to this. Let him finish his thought. Let him finish his thought, and I'll respond. Go ahead.
Well, if the point that I was going to get to in the presentation, which I don't know if it was appropriate, but I was going to use the mark of the beast prophecy as a way to lean on the Bible as being true or not, or at least consider its truth. But that would be literally the only way. Not only I could prove it to you, but I'm trying to prove it to myself. But
I'll be honest with you, if the Bible literally said, by the way, somebody's getting some feedback, and I think it's RussianVids. If the Bible actually said the Earth is flat, the Earth is not round, the Earth is flat, anybody in their right mind would still go, that's wrong. It doesn't matter what the Bible says. It's fundamentally wrong on all aspects of reality. So why?
That's not true.
Well, it is true. It is very much true.
It is.
If the Bible says insects have four legs, okay, it's wrong. There's certain things in the Bible that they got wrong. They didn't know these things. They just didn't have an understanding.
Not only do they get things wrong, but the Bible constantly contradicts itself throughout all the stories. Most of the stories are just retelling of the same stories.